Hello, I'm Shane Pike, the Managing Director of Great Western Exploration. Thanks for joining me for this short presentation. Great Western is about to start drilling two highly promising copper-gold targets in Western Australia. We believe these targets, known as Oval and Oval South, are very compelling. Our belief is based on the strong results we have received from extensive geophysics and the multiple coincident geological attributes. The geophysics also tells us that these targets are very big, so if they are mineralised, we could have a major discovery on our hands. I will now go through a short presentation on these targets and our upcoming drilling program. The key piece that I want everyone to take away from this presentation is that Oval and Oval South, which we're going to be drilling late September, early October, are one of the largest copper gold targets that anyone will drill test this year. This size of the Oval and Oval South isn't ordinarily found in a junior exploration company's portfolio, and certainly not one that has a market capitalisation that Great Western has. We've got an experienced board and management team that will take us through this period, and that includes Kevin Soames. He's our non-executive chairman. He's a Perth-based, very successful business person. Myself as managing director, I'm a geologist. I started my career with Equigold. I've been with companies like Newcrest. I spent a long time with Evolution Mining. I've got a 50-50 mix of mining geology and the exploration experience, and I've spent most of my career in gold and copper. Ross Williams, one of our non-executive directors, he's a co-founder of MACA, one of Australia's largest earth-moving companies that was taken by Thiess. Gray Warburton, mergers and acquisition specialist, very experienced in mining finance. And Tony Walsh, our company secretary. He previously headed up the ASX listings office in Perth. We've got a very strong cash position, got very low corporate overheads. Greater than 70% of our funds go directly into exploration. The way we do that, our non-executives, who are also our largest shareholders, they don't get paid in any way, in cash, shares, options. They are looking for a big uptick in the share price that a discovery will bring. That's how they all get paid, which is a win-win for all our shareholders. We have very supportive cornerstone shareholders, many of which you'll know. They're managing directors, chairpeople of some of Australia's largest ASX-listed companies. So Oval and Oval South. Oval and Oval South, we interpret, is an absolute giant. It's a Winu or Havieron style intrusive-related copper-gold target. Monster targets, both in their own right, and that's what we think we have with Oval and Oval South. How we've got it is an interesting story. So Rio Tinto defined Oval in the Yerrida Basin with an airborne electromagnetic survey. Oval was their number one target. They went and drilled it drilled a hole down to 232 meters where they intersected siltstones with some narrow bands of shale within that siltstone unit. These shale units, they thought was the cause of the electromagnetic response. The shales can often give false anomalies, and they walked away from the project. Now, the Tempest survey that they used to define it defines near-surface conductors well, but when the conductors get deeper or within the rock types that we've got in the Yerrida Basin, the depth of those conductors can get it a little bit hazy. Now, Great Western picked up this ground, as I said, over a decade later, in around 2010, as part of a broader package over the Yerrida Basin. At the time, they continued preliminary work because of the size of the tenure at the time and the work that needed to be undertaken. Great Western entered into a joint venture with Sandfire Resources that continued this work. Part of the work that Sandfire did was a VTEM survey. They can better define conductors at depth and the rock types here, and they quickly recognised the potential of Oval. They found that the conductor that Rio had defined was actually 70 metres below the Rio Tinto drilled hole, below the 232 metre drilled hole. The Oval had not been drill tested. They put the geology together. They designed drill holes. They started the approval process. But by this stage, they were building a project in Botswana. They just picked up their Matsa project in Spain. They were stretched. They gave back the project to Great Western 100% after spending $4.5 million on the project as part of a broader exit from Australian exploration. Now, why was Sandfire so excited about this? This is a VTEM cross-section. This is the data Rio Tinto didn't have, and you don't have to be a geophysicist to see the opportunity here. That black line there, that's a 232-metre drill hole that Rio Tinto drilled, and that red area down there, that conductor is 70 metres below the Rio Tinto drilled hole. If Rio Tinto had this data, they would not have terminated the hole at this depth. We went through the data and we could see the excitement about Oval, and we interpreted that Oval actually represented Winu Havieron style intrusive related copper gold style mineralization. Now, these big deposits usually have a fairly large checklist, multiple coincident geological attributes that make them what they are. It's one thing to have an electromagnetic high, but you often need more of these things. And part of the work that Sandfire did, and they did some great work, was they completed a gravity survey over this area. And what that showed is that there was gravity highs that sit perfectly over the top of the electromagnetic anomalies. And why that's important? The electromagnetic anomalies are saying that there's electrically conductive rocks at depth. The gravity is saying those same rocks, they're highly dense, denser than what they should be. So we interpret this as being zones of metal-rich sulfide mineralization. And like Winu, at depth, there's a magnetic anomaly, which we interpret as being an intrusive that's provided mineralized fluids and heat, basically an engine for a mineral system. Like Winu, there's favorable stratigraphy, siltstone, carbonate, sandstone rocks, the type of rocks that will tear out copper and gold from ascending fluids from an intrusive at depth that will deposit gold and copper within the layers of these rocks. But probably most importantly is the location of Oval and Oval South on the Ida Fault. The Ida Fault is a massive crustal feature. It's got proven fertility. It stretches over 500 kilometres long. It's got the Perseverance, Mount Keith nickel deposits, giant deposits, the Davyhurst gold deposit, the DeGrussa copper gold deposit. It shows that it's tapped the mantle and allowed metal-rich fluids to ascend to the surface. And right where Oval and Oval South is, there's a geological survey of Western Australia's interpreted Yerrida Basin growth fault, a regional feature that intersects the Ida Fault, right where Oval South is. And we interpret this as focused fluids into favourable stratigraphy of the Yerrida Basin. Now we're going to go and drill Oval and Oval South late September, early October. We're partially co-funded to go and drill this program by the Western Australian government through the Exploration Incentive Scheme, which is a strong endorsement of the project. We're going to complete 2 holes each at both Oval and Oval South. The holes will range in depth between 600 to 800 metres. We're going to test the coincident electromagnetic and gravity anomalies here. And we're going to complete a downhole electromagnetic survey on the Oval holes, even if we get mineralisation, to make sure we're drilling in the right spot location and to guide the program. Aside from Oval and Oval South, as I said, Yerrida Basin, vastly unexplored, but there's multiple geological attributes that makes it prospective for multiple mineral systems. Aside from intrusive related copper gold style targets like Winu Havieron style targets at Oval South, there's also volcanic hosted massive sulfide, very similar to DeGrussa, that are potentially enriched in copper and gold. Sediment hosted copper mineralization, Cobar style copper zinc lead type mineralization. These are all the potential mineralized systems within the Yerrida Basin. Very little drilling within the Yerrida Basin itself. As I said, Sandfire Resources, they spent $4.5 million on exploration. That included pulling all the data together from majors like Rio Tinto and Xstrata. They completed their own geophysical and geochemical surveys. They completed basin modeling. They basically did everything except drill a lot of these targets. When we got this data, we've had a look. There's some really exciting targets here. We've got field teams right now on the ground mapping some of these targets, completing further sampling. They'll complete an interpretation, and I've no doubt that in the next few weeks we're going to be talking about some more exciting targets that are coming out of the Yerrida Basin outside of Oval and Oval South. So in summary, we're going to be drilling some of the largest copper gold targets that anyone will be drilling this year in Oval and Oval South. No discovery is guaranteed, but if we drill these targets, and it's what we think it is, a Winu style intrusive related copper gold targets, the return on the Great Western share price, it will be significant. Everyone needs just a little bit of Great Western. That concludes the presentation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me, and we look forward to our huge program at Oval and Oval South, late September, early October. Thank you.